Hi, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. I cannot wait to dive into today's content with you. We have a ton of stuff of good content to go over with you today. We have a great presentation planned, and so we're going to get started shortly. But before we do, I'm going to let everyone kind of start trickling in. If you're like me on most days, you probably had back-to-back calls, so you're going from one to the other. Go grab a cup of coffee or a drink. For anybody else, we're just going to take a second and we're going to get acclimated to a couple of things. I'll give you an idea of what we're going to cover today. I do want to make sure that everyone's able to use the GoToWebinar question box feature within the GoToWebinar panel. If you've been with us before, then you're familiar. This is how we essentially do our chat throughout the call and how we take your questions at the end. So if you are able to go ahead and access that question box, that's how I can see all your responses. If you have any sort of questions, you'll put it into that box. You won't be able to chat with other attendees, but if you do want to go ahead and put a question in, that question box is where it's going to go. To get us all started and get us used to that, maybe if you're new to the webinars, I'd love for you to type into that question box, say hello, let me know where you're calling in from today. I really love to see how far reaching our audience is. One of the fun things about the webinars is that they connect us to folks from all different corners of the world, but we're all here for one common goal, and that's for us to improve our marketing. So I'll call out some of the responses as they come in, but I just want to see who we have on the call today and what we have going on, who is joining us, where they're joining us from. I see Kentucky, that's exciting, Denver, Colorado. For example, I am in Louisiana, if you couldn't tell from my accent. I'm based out of North Louisiana. I'm born and raised here. So go ahead, I see a ton of responses. North Texas, you're not too far from me, that's exciting. So let's go ahead, I see tons of people typing in. I see PA, Georgia, South Carolina, Canada, welcome. Dallas, you are right down the road. It's wonderful to have you here. New Jersey, Tampa, Iowa, this is awesome. Again, it's so neat because we're all getting on this call to accomplish the same goal. We all have the same interests. I see Argentina, this is a lot of fun. More Texas, Miami, more Canada. This is fantastic. Just keep them coming in. And again, the chat feature is not going to work on today's call. You use our question box, and that's where you will be able to see your questions, and we'll be able to take a look at those throughout the call, and then we'll address everything towards the end. So it's wonderful to have everybody. More Canada, hello from New York. This is awesome. So I'm so excited to have everyone today. Let's go ahead and let's get started. We've got a couple of housekeeping items that we'll go over. All right, so for everyone on the call today, note that this is being recorded, so you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything like that. You'll get all the materials in your inbox. That includes not only the recording, but also a copy of the slides, so you'll have everything there for you to reference later if you'd like. Please note that all of our webinar recordings can be easily found on our WordStream and Local IQ YouTube channels. So if you just navigate to YouTube, you can type in Local IQ or WordStream. You'll click on one of our channels, and that's where you'll be able to see all of our past webinar recordings. If you want to catch up on any of our older ones or go ahead and view this one again, you can find everything there later today. So also the reason, again, why I have you all practice using that question box is because I want you to feel comfortable typing your questions throughout the webinar. Be sure to stick around for the Q&A session at the end. We're going to go through all of your questions in what is a really unique sort of like one-to-one feeling scenario. Even though we're all virtual, we're all from all over the country and even the world as we've seen, it's an opportunity to sort of hear from others who are in a similar industry or a similar situation, and maybe what they're going through and how the responses can help you. So again, if you've attended any of ours in the past, you know that that's a really neat opportunity. So everything can be accessed through that question box, and we'll go ahead and keep on moving. So for everyone on this call, new friends, or if you're joining us again, I want to get us all on the same page of who Local IQ is, because you may have found us through a couple of different sources. So some of you may already be working with us as a Local IQ, and that's wonderful. We're really excited to have you here. And then some of you may be totally new, and that's awesome too, because now we get to tell you more about who we are. So some of you might be familiar with us through our thought leadership brand, WordStream by Local IQ. Maybe you registered for the webinar there or downloaded a piece of content. So how does all of that fit together? How does WordStream by Local IQ and Local IQ work together? So Local IQ is a fully integrated growth marketing platform. We marry tech that you can't find anywhere else, along with unparalleled expertise and service. And we do that to give your business what you need to thrive and prosper. So how exactly do we do that? Well, technology is at our core, as I said. Our platform runs on optimization technology and AI, and it's informed by more than 1 million Local IQ campaigns. So this level of data is something that you're not going to be able to find anything else, and it's what drives the client or our customer's success. We have all of the tools you need in one place. And as many of you marketers or business owners know, you're constantly switching between platforms or tools or resources. But here we give you the tools at your fingertips to make the daily task of marketing a lot faster. So we're putting time back into your day so you can focus on managing your business or managing your teams rather than focusing that attention on marketing. And finally, we've been in the marketing game for over 15 years, which, if you think about it, is basically about as old as the internet and digital marketing is. So we're not that much older. So we have been here through it all. We've seen the ups and downs and all the shifts in the landscape and platforms. And we're here to tell that story to the benefit of your business. So we're really excited to have everyone today, no matter how you found us. One other thing that we're really proud of is that we are a premier partner for all major advertising platforms. You can see Google, Microsoft, Meta. This isn't something that is granted to any marketing platform out there. It's really only given to businesses that are able to display clear campaign success for their customers. This is through thought leadership. We're able to meet rigorous set of requirements for each platform that demonstrate the success that we're able to provide for our customers. And a little bit more about me. If you're a regular, but maybe this is your first time at a webinar with me, I am Katie, and it's wonderful to meet you. I'll be your host today. Here at Local IQ, I work really closely with our teams to connect our target audience with all of their different resources and all of the abilities that are available through the company. And I've lived a few past lives in public relations and at different agencies. But for the last 10 years or so, I've worked in one capacity or another in digital marketing. I equip sales teams, agencies, and individual business owners with what they need to succeed. And again, if you couldn't tell by the way I talk, I'm located in the southern US in Louisiana. So I saw some East Texas and North Texas folks who have joined us. So hopefully it feels like home to you. I always tell people that I'm not really in the fun part of Louisiana though, so don't get your hopes up. I'm about 5 hours north of New Orleans. But we do still have a good time here. I do still get crawfish. And so I love being here, and I love being here with you guys today. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to look at a couple more ways that you can interact with us and how you can find us online. There's in addition to our YouTube channels, if you ever feel like you want to sit more with any of the topics that we've covered today, or maybe there's more resources that you want more information on, we cover this and more on all of our various social platforms where you can find us. And I highly recommend that you navigate to Local IQ or WordStream, take a look at our blog content, but also check out us on Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We share out notifications for future events. So if you want to join more of these kinds of webinars in the future, definitely be sure to follow us there, turn on your post notifications. But like I said, you can also find us on all of the various other social platforms. So you can tell showing up and standing out online is a thing that we're pretty passionate about. You can find us pretty much anywhere. All right, so Now, if you've attended with us in the past, we like to do a pop quiz. Again, this gets you used to the question box situation, but it also gives me a feel for where you are in your marketing and what you're able to do. So today, open up that question box, and I want to know which marketing channel currently brings you the most leads. We're talking today about showing up and standing out online. So when you look at where you are online right now, where is it that you're showing up the most? Where are you getting most of your leads from? Is it your website? Is it SEO? Is it maybe search results? Where are you able to get most of your leads? I think a lot of us can hop from one channel to another. And so it's difficult to really define where we're having success. Sometimes that's where good reporting comes in. But I would love to know from you guys what channels you're currently getting the most success in. And I see a ton of Google, Instagram, Facebook. I see none. Help. Absolutely. You come to the right place. Hopefully we can get you a head start. You can feel a little bit better. Our websites, no clue. I see this a ton. It is really difficult sometimes to be able to trace attribution, like where are your leads coming from? That we'll talk about the importance of reporting and being able to track all of the work that you do. Marketing's not easy. Owning your own business, running a business isn't easy. So you want to make sure you're putting your resources to the right place. Craigslist, nice. I see more Facebook. I see Angie's leads, Indeed, must be recruiting. Email, that's interesting. Wonderful. I see people who are new to this. I see people who are maybe needing just a lift to what they're already doing. So I feel like we're coming at this from various places. And so hopefully we'll be able to give you some great information that you can find useful. I want to call out every single one of these because it's really interesting to hear where everyone is getting the most out of their marketing. Some of these had the same answers, some had a slightly different response or maybe a different perspective. Again, how long they've been doing it or how new their business is. And I think that's because each platform, each channel is unique, but as are the needs of your business. So if this means that we can help you with your teams, your bandwidth, your resources, that's all going to be different. But hopefully we, as we go through our slides today, these best practices and things to know, these can hopefully apply to your business and your specific situation. But if it isn't, let's ask it in the chat. Let's see if we can take care of that question later on at the end. And then if not, we'll have an opportunity for you to talk to someone and dive in a little deeper. All right, so first up, we are going to look at what does it mean to show up and stand out? What's that actually mean in practical terms when I'm thinking about being on the internet? And then how do we want to do that on Google? Then how do we want to do that on Facebook? And how do we want to do it everywhere else? We talked about all these different channels. We want to be there too. And then we're going to talk through thought starters, how to take all that data and apply it to your business or your specific situation. And then we'll get into that Q&A. All right, let's get started. So it's not really shocking to anyone on this call, I'm sure, that 97% of people learn more about a business online than anywhere else. But the size of that number does put emphasis on the fact that no matter your vertical or your type of business, you need to be where the people are. That's online. And you need to be easy for them to find. You don't just need to be there, they need to be able to find you. All right. So in marketing, we call this online presence. So if you're doing your vocab words for the day, that's what showing up and standing out means. It means your online presence. And it's defined as easy to find a business online. So for example, if your business has local listings, social media accounts, if you have a web page, search ads, any of the other digital marketing channels that you guys called out in the question box, that's all part of your online presence. And having a strong online presence means that your business can be easily found no matter where or how many people are searching for you. And ultimately, the whole point of this is to turn your prospects into loyal customers. We all want leads in some form or fashion, but a strong online presence has benefits that are far beyond just accomplishing that your business can reach. So through adding legitimacy, getting discovered, being able to market your business 24/7, and better spending of your ad dollars, you will continually increase your online presence, and that's just going to raise your brand's awareness and continue to benefit your business long past any of these efforts. So as there are no perfect media channels, there's also no perfect way to build your online business presence, but Google's always a good place to start. Let's start with the most obvious, and let's explore a few techniques that can help you show up on this sort of behemoth of a search engine. So posting regularly on a business blog. This allows your potential customers to find you through search engine results. And it gives you a place to publish really high quality posts pertaining to information that your customers are going to be interested in. They want this information, and it helps them find you and sort of connect the dots to the pain point that they're having. Plus, every post that you write can be optimized with local keywords so that your blog posts have a chance to rank better in search results. So like in the example, if I go to how to fix a leaky sink, that blog for your company is what's going to show up, in addition to a lot of other things that we're going to talk about today. So to make sure that you get the most out of each post, you're going to want to make that content work harder for you. Time is a commodity. None of us have enough of it. So you're going to want to promote that post on your social media site and in your newsletter if you have one. Repurpose the content by turning it maybe to a YouTube video or social media images, an infographic, or maybe some other feature. The goal here is to repackage everything you're doing to get the most return out of that effort and spread your presence across the web. All right, so next up, if any of you are like me, before I make any sort of purchase, especially a more expensive purchase, I'm going to look at online reviews. And I know I'm not alone. I am one of the 93% of people influenced by online reviews. And I think the reason that is because reviews feel like the digital age's word of mouth, since it's considered as trustworthy as a personal recommendation. Plus, reviews are going to show up on search engine results pages. So anyone searching for your product or your service is going to be able to see them and have a good insight into the experience that other customers have had. And then everything we'll go over today is going to be able to do double duty. So don't shy away from asking customers for reviews. I know that can feel a little uncomfortable, but you can do this through confirmation emails through your business, on your business cards, thank you cards, on your website, on your social media. There's a lot of places where you can ask customers to submit a review, and people are actually very willing to leave their opinions on purchases. Who would have thought people have opinions? 95% of consumers left an online review in the past year, and they would consider leaving one in the future. So this means that your loyal customers are likely to understand how important reviews are, and they're going to be more willing to give one to your business. So next is create and manage a Google business profile. A Google business profile, it highlights the most important features, hours, benefits, locations, all of the things that people want to find quickly about your business, and it helps you show up in search and map results. So you've likely probably seen this before when you're doing your own personal searching. When you search for a business or type in a business, it's going to show up as that map pack or on the right-hand side of the search results. So these listings are often created automatically. So you're going to want to get in there and claim yours and begin to manage it to ensure that the information is accurate. And it gives you more control over what's shown to a searcher. So for example, to the right, you can see Day Coffee and Espresso. So their profile is managed by the business itself. They've claimed theirs and they're continually updating it with information. So it includes the website, reviews like we just talked about, the category, the hours, phone number, location, and the types of services. So at a glance, people can really quickly understand what's available and how they can get it. So if you are like me and it's, towards the end of the day and you need that last caffeine push to make it towards the end, you got to go pick up your kids and you're going to start like the third part of your day. I want to know if Day's Coffee is open at 4 p.m. so I can go get that fixed. Speaking of managing online information, this one, managing your business listings, also applies. So fun fact, whether you know it or not, your business is likely listed on a number of business directories across the web. So these business directory listings, they can either help or hurt your online presence or your SEO, not to mention, depending on how accurate the information is. So in the same vein as the Google Business Profile, you want to go in and you want to update it and regularly check your listings for accuracy, because this can improve the consistency for your business, which is a really important ranking factor. This directs more searchers to your business, either through phone, website, your business address. It gives you more opportunities to appear in local search results. So it's just as important. You want to have that information updated, and you want to keep tabs on it regularly. So for example, these directories, what they'll often do is create a best of list, like what you can see on the screen here, featuring the best local places to eat, the best contractors to repair your home, or the best in a myriad of categories. And this gives you an opportunity to be culled into that list and showcased on search results. So many of you might already be doing this if you're working with us or another company, but if you are considering it or you haven't done it, I think trying paid advertising is going to be a very obvious next step. So up until now, we've covered mostly free tactics, but this is another opportunity to build your online presence. Advertising in search results on Google and Microsoft, this can land you at the top of a search engine results page. Search ads can fill in the gaps for your online presence that your SEO may not be able to fill. So you're doing all of these efforts, but maybe you're still not canvassing the web the way that you want to. Paid advertising lets you be able to do that. It not only includes search, but also social ads and display ads. It'll only help to increase your visibility online. And there's a lot of great targeting options when you look at paid advertising. All right, so we covered Google. We talked about that behemoth. So next up, we're going to talk about the social version. We're going to talk about Facebook. So although a lot of these tactics can apply to Facebook, they also apply across social channels. So whether it is TikTok or whether it's Instagram, keep an open mind as we talk through these next slides, because again, the theme is double duty. We think a lot of these tips and best practices can help you out across the web as well. So first and foremost, you're going to want to post regularly. Social media algorithms, including Facebook's, consider recency a ranking factor, meaning if your post is the freshest post when your audience is most active, then more people are likely to see it. So not only should you be posting with regularity, but the timing of when you post matters too. So when you post at the right time, more people are going to see your post early on, meaning it's not going to get buried in people's feeds. So then if they like and engage with the post, it'll be placed in front of more people. So more eyeballs beget more eyeballs. So for Facebook, the best days to post are Monday through Thursday. But overall, if you're looking like in general, Mondays and Tuesdays are really the best days for Facebook, and 10 a.m. is a sweet spot. But if you've tried your hand at organic social before, then you know that the timing and the consistent posting, it can get really overwhelming. There's a lot of days in a month. So a big recommendation here is to start looking at a content calendar. This will let you plan out your post for the month. You can see an example here from one of our free resources where, based on the holidays, the seasonality, it seems like every day is a specific day, whether it's, National Donut Day or something. It lets you play into those themes and makes it a lot easier to create that content, plan out those posts, and show up regularly on Facebook or wherever you're going to have a social presence. Next up is focused on SEO, specifically for your social platforms. So SEO is a fantastic way to skyrocket your online presence. We've mentioned it a few times already, but with SEO, your business can be found in more online searches, and people are going to discover why your brand is worth following on socials like Facebook or even like this example shows X. So much like the prep work required for posting, you're going to want to do some cleanup and ongoing management of your website specifically before social can be as effective. So if you don't have one, these are things to think about as you think through getting one up and running. If you have one, it's a nice tick list to go through and make sure that it is a good experience for your users. So any old or broken website pages, you're going to want to fix or redirect those. That's a terrible experience. I'm sure we've all clicked on a link and gone to a page that was broken, and then we just abandon it fully and go on to something else. You're going to want to identify the right SEO keywords to incorporate into the content of the page. The words on the page do matter. You're going to want to optimize your images. This includes things like sizing the image to fit the space or compressing the image so it loads quickly. And then also linking to other web pages and blog content throughout your site. Those links create a really good environment for people to stay and engaged with the site and continue to stay on there. All right, so next up is fun. You're going to want to connect with your audience, especially on social. So do you want to know what makes your brand feel personal to any audience member? It's you, it's your humanity, it's people. So social networks are meant to be fun. So I encourage you, loosen up, make your brand feel personal, show some personality, because you can see the example here. Totino's saw a shared experience in the Bernie Sanders meme, and they quickly took action to have some fun, and they connected it to their brand. And so it gets you attention. There are many ways to do this. There are many ways to be able to create that personal connection. 57% of Gen Z agree that they enjoy when brands participate in memes because it's kind of meeting them where they are. But you don't have to be the next Totino's meme star to connect with your audience. Don't worry, you don't need to go into Canva and start creating your own memes. So you can connect by sharing your personal stories, participate in other online trends. Anything that genuinely connects with your audience is going to be enough. So this can help your online presence on social sites, and it encourages your users to continue engaging with your content. This kind of stuff is what's going to get you shares, it's what's going to get you comments, and that just boosts your posts up on those social feeds. So you can see here, 67% of users on 67% of brands use social media to offer discounts to their customers. So maybe you've actually participated in one of these, or like me, maybe you're the resident friend that always gets tagged so your other friend can be entered into a giveaway. So while discounts primarily aim to increase sales, that doesn't have to be the only goal. You can also use exclusive social discounts as a brand awareness campaign for whichever platform you're choosing, Facebook or otherwise. So for example, here, the Popcorn Factory, they use this strategy to boost awareness and engagement. So the company used a seasonality to kick off a giveaway, and it required users to share, follow, and then also tag others, which only amplifies the reach of the effort. I know when I'm that friend that gets tagged for the giveaway post, I always go and check it out. What does my friend want to win? Why do they want to win that? What makes this company so great? So plus, these are just a fun way to show, again, personality, connect with your audience, and also create exclusivity. So some helpful tips to make the most of this, because again, we don't just want to work, we want to make the most of our work. You're going to want to use eye-catching images or videos, including hashtags and keywords, really helpful. That helps people be able to find you and show up more. Add a sense of urgency. If you put something within a limited time, people are going to act quickly. And then, like we've mentioned, ask your followers to share. All right, so that takes care of our two most obvious places online where we want to show up and stand out. But what about everywhere else? There's all the places in between. There's a whole wide web out there, and it's ready for your business to take up residency. So let's take a look. Now, if you have been on any of our webinars before, if we had like a top hits section, establishing goals would be on that list. There's a reason why we talk about it so much. If you don't set a goal, it's harder to achieve success. So before you take on Google or Facebook or any of the other places, You want to start by looking at your overall marketing goals and objectives. What do you want your business's online presence to accomplish? Is it legitimacy? Do you want to increase awareness? Do you want to find new customers? Maybe it's you want to lift your ROI. Whatever it is for you and your business and your specific situation, you're going to want to keep those overall goals in mind because it'll help you stay motivated as you build an online presence. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It'll give you a goal to return to later as well if you want to review your progress. So you want to see the effort and what you've gotten out of it, or maybe you just need a boost to say, I'm doing the right things. So setting those goals, making sure that they're specific, they're measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific, that's going to go a long way to setting you up for success, whether it's on Google, Facebook, or anywhere else. So we've mentioned a healthy website a couple of times already, but that's because you need an online hub where people can find you. Your website is like your digital storefront, and it's the only piece of real estate that you truly own on the web. So you have full control over it. So if you don't already have one in place, you're going to want to create one today as soon as you can. There are a multitude of businesses where you can build it yourself or have it built for you, like the Local IQ solution. An appealing and also ADA accessible website is what's going to draw in potential customers and keep them there as long as they can easily search, learn, and purchase from you. So there are also free resources like Local IQ and WordStream. We have a free website grader that can help you optimize the presence of your site all in one go. So if you are going to make your site mobile friendly, easy to navigate, you want to include powerful calls to action, use optimized imagery like we've said, and include the right information, all of that can feel like a laundry list because it's a lot of work to maintain a website. So if there's a way for you to easily see if you're on the right track, the free website grader it's a really good way to do that. But then there's also a ton of other resources where you can see trends and what can help your website perform better. But the takeaway is you need one. You need to have a website. All right, in the same vein of posting blog posts like we talked about with the Google section, it's really beneficial to write high quality guest posts. This is another way to build your online presence, is looking for other businesses or media outlets that accept a guest post. Publishing really high quality guest posts on other sources like a media outlet or related websites is going to get your business seen by your audience and amplify your brand's reach because you're leveraging their reach, you're leveraging their audience. Additionally, linking your website from theirs will improve your SEO. So you could even accept guest posts from other individuals as well as businesses that want their businesses to be seen by your audience. So it goes both ways, and it's a really beneficial tactic. Next up is consider micro-influencer marketing. So if you are ready to connect with a new audience member, you are going to want to consider influence marketing, but it's not the mega influencers that you're thinking. It's a really wonderful way to get the word out about your brand to other people and improve your online presence. And a micro influencer is going to be that influencer that is somewhat local or regional. They don't necessarily have the highest follower count, but they've got really great engagement on their post. So if you sell construction tools, maybe you want to work with a popular TikTok contractor. If you sell books or makeup, you want to look for beauty influencers or book Instagrammers. There's a lot of ways to be creative, but you don't necessarily need to feel pressured to find those big mega influencers because truly that's not going to serve your business well in the end. So the rise of the micro influencer is what makes this tactic really accessible to more businesses, and their influence is going to be more powerful since they're seen as genuine and attainable. So the example here on the screen is a local franchise location of Dillis. So they took this approach with an influencer promoting a new location, and it was a great way for her to use her audience and her platform to showcase that restaurant as a good place to grab a quick bite with your family. And so her high engagement rates mean that her audience is more likely to spread the word or take action themselves, which means that these types of non-traditional partnerships really open up a whole new possibility for your business to explore. All right, next up is ensure that everything is accessible. We talked about this a little bit in the website section, but the key to being a thriving business and having a strong online presence is you meeting the needs of all your potential customers. So this means that you keep in mind accessibility so that you can cater to your full audience. 1 in 4 adults in the US has a disability. So the odds are a potential customer may be looking for your business online, but they require additional accessibility options to truly get the full picture of your brand. And so providing accessible and inclusive marketing content opens up your business to these new customers, and it shows them that you care. So you want to create accessible content and develop accessibility policy for your business. It can look a lot of different ways, but some really easy sort of like top of mind ideas are creating accessible social media descriptions, using inclusive language, captioning your video content, avoiding add-in custom fonts or using emojis in moderation. You can see this example here. They do an image description so that it makes it easier for people to be able to access that content that maybe wouldn't be able to otherwise. So now it's time to package up all that information. So we talked about Google, we talked about Facebook, everywhere in between, and we want to put it into something that can help you kickstart some ideas for your own business. So take everything that we've covered, start thinking about your own business, and maybe think through the auditing of your content that currently exists, going back, checking in on your progress, and then making changes. I think that that's what's really important. A lot of these things are not going to be set it and forget it opportunities. You're going to want to go back and make sure that you are maintaining best practices and catching anything that might break. Go back to the beginning. So again, about the goals, review your original goals. See what strategies are working, which ones aren't. Maybe get a morale boost, some encouragement, maybe see where you need to pivot just a little bit. And then don't get stuck. Do not be afraid to pivot and try something new, because likely there's something new right around the corner for you to take advantage of. That's the great thing about the marketing landscape and digital marketing in particular. There's never a shortage of new opportunities to try for. All right, so that was a ton of info, and I have seen over on the corner of my eye, I've seen all of the questions start coming in. So I saw a lot of these through the chat, specific business situations. You can see that there's a poll that's been launched across everyone's screen here. So if you feel like you want to talk about your online presence, or maybe talk to someone else about what you can be doing, maybe you're just tired of doing it all yourself. Like I said, this is a lot to handle. Click yes to that poll, and we'll be able to contact you and talk through how we might be able to help you and make life easier. So again, I saw a ton of specific questions coming through. This is your chance to get those questions answered. I'm going to leave that poll up at this time, and that is going to continue to take over your whole screen and remain there, which switches us over to the audio portion of our webinar. So once you answer that poll, you can sort of sit back, relax, listen in to the Q&A while everyone's answering the poll and sitting back. Let's go ahead and take a look at our questions. Ooh, there's a ton. Well, first I see someone missed the Google portion. No worries. We're going to have the recording and the slides sent to you after this concludes, so you'll have access to all of that great information. We have questions around SEO, which is search engine optimization. That's the ability to be able to show up on those search results through organic searches and not paid ads like Google will have. All right, let's see. Do reviews make sense for B2B? Absolutely. And there's a ton of really reputable B2B sites for reviews specifically. It's a really great way. I know software in particular has them, but also service companies. Reviews are going to be useful no matter your business, no matter your vertical. So it's definitely something that I would say pursuing. Tips for starting or posting on a business blog. So this is, I mean, this is a hefty best practice to give to somebody that you need to start creating a blog. And I don't pretend that that's not. I think the best way to deal with that initially is one, get a plan together. You're going to want to understand what your audience wants to see, what they want to read, and plan to that with a calendar. Very similar to how we suggested doing that with social. And then once you have that, there are a ton of tools. This is specifically where AI can be really helpful with creating ideas, then a keyword that you're going to want to incorporate into the blog post. And then again, posting with regularity. You want to make sure that you have up-to-date content. Nobody wants to log onto a blog and see something from 1999. So you're going to want to be able to make sure that your content is regular and accessible and current for the year that we're in. All right, let's see what else we've got. So they're coming in so fast that like they're going past my mind before I can even get to them. Okay, so how do you find micro influencers? I think this is a really interesting question because it is something new. You're trying to figure out how you're going to do this thing that's recommended. One of the things that you can do is simply Google that topic for your area, whatever it is that you're wanting to promote, whatever the business is, or maybe local influencers in your area. Even go to your own socials, look at your feed, see who you're following, look at the businesses or the people, see what their counts are, what their followers are, and then just start following the trails. Who are they following? Who is recommended for you to follow? And then you'll end up at a really good list where you can start approaching people. Let's see. Okay. And again, this is recorded, so we'll have all of these distributed to you guys this afternoon. Let's see. And then I have a question around B2B, specifically for healthcare. And I think if you're in the B2B industry, all of this still applies because you still want to humanize your brand. You still want to connect with your audience. You still want to post with regularity on your socials. Paid advertising is still going to be beneficial for you. A website is still going to be beneficial. And so I think if you go back to your audience and your use cases, how they want to interact with you and how they want to find you, then you'll be able to take some of these best practices and apply them specifically for something like B2B. I don't think everybody needs to be a retail shop for these to match. Everything can be unique and customized based on your situation. Let's see. Let's see. Gosh. Okay. So questions are still coming in. That's the Google portion. Okay. So we have time for just a couple more, and let's take a look and see. I think this also applies for nonprofits as well. Again, if you will take a look at the best practices and what your audience needs, I think as part of building out those goals, being able to identify the needs of your audience is going to be really crucial to where you show up and how you show up, because the content, the frequency, and the channels are going to change on whatever it is that you're doing. All right, so I think that wraps up everything that we're going to be able to cover today. Again, we had so many questions come in, and some of them were very, very specific to your businesses. And so I would just encourage you that if we did not get to your question today, please just click yes to that poll, and we'll be able to follow up with you specifically about that and meet sort of any need that you have. And again, thank you so much for attending today. Thank you for your time. And don't forget to follow us on socials or for our future webinars for additional opportunities and information. Thank you so much.